Dev and Joe are sort of recent members.
We're on like a youth training scheme.
Yes, we've got them in YMCA.
You guys are on an internship.
Yeah,
You're expecting
exactly.
a 6-month contract following.
We're
and
just
then to have
apprentice pimps. They're showing us the rope.
Exactly, you haven't got your full-scale platform shoes with the goldfish in them yet.
No, exactly. We've got tiny little shoes.
The all-new and improved Sneaker Pimps, well, half at least. For those people out there that don't know your history, you make a demo, you sign a record deal, you make a record, you sell loads of them, you tour, go to America, lose your mind, come back, make another record. Have I missed anything out?
That's fantastic.
About it.
Good, let's move on.
It takes too much to please me.
It was a crucial time for you guys when you came back from the States and things were obviously a little bit intense in terms of what you'd achieved in that time. Why did you decide to go back and make a record immediately and not take a bit of a holiday?
It's the only therapy we know, I think. It's the only sanity we know is doing something musical.
Yeah.
And the strange thing about going on tour is it's pretty unmusical, the whole thing. It's just repetitively going to a show, setting up, playing the show, getting out. You don't think about music anymore. It's kind of like you're on a production line or something. So
On the circus.
yeah. So it was very much a therapy thing. How are we going to make ourselves feel good again? And it was to go and write some more songs.
Spend a year in the studio.
With no air conditioning.
Back to basics, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some serious whiplash from the States, didn't you, in terms of the success and everything that you had leading up to that? It was like,
Yeah.
but surely that kind of success is something that you secretly crave for, or everyone secretly craves for when they start a band. I mean, were you surprised that you didn't really take to it as well as you thought you would?
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to make us happy. Everyone thinks that sort of thing's supposed to make you happy, but it didn't. And it made
Funny
us
that.
unhappy. But I think it was just, we got the balance wrong and we spent too long there, and it was just a little too intense. A lot of things were out of our control.
Why did you overcommit to so much stuff?
Because I think we were a bit naive.
Yeah, we'd never done it before. And it was still quite enjoyable. And if someone said, OK, you're going to go and do another 2 months in America, you're up for it, you kind of go, yeah, fine, it's going to be sunny.
It's only 2 weeks into it, you're going, what did I
Yeah,
change?
you're just thinking, I want to go home. This
Yeah.
is just doing my head in.
Give me love vibes, 'cause I can't help myself. Love vibe downsize, no one else. Do you love yourself?
This therapy session has turned into Splinter.
Yes.
A labour of love, or did you love the labour? How did was it a difficult recording process? It must have been difficult at the start.
It wasn't actually. I think it was a relief to have everything in our control and not have to worry about a singer we didn't want to work with. I mean, a lot of the reason why we did break up was because of the fact she wanted to write as well, and she was demanding to write sort of 50% of the next album, and it just wasn't on. And we.
One of the reasons that I read that you were kind of concerned about working with Kelly at the end was because she'd be getting a lot of attention, and it was all placed on her, and it was becoming very much focused on her. And there's a copy of the album here. I was looking at this, and Splinter, and there seems to be quite a bit of attention on you at the same time.
Yes.
And I was sort of wondering whether, this is kind of a concern again, or whether,
It's not a concern, because
That was
everyone
kind
knows
of
me.
a deliberate thing to do this time. That was part of the whole point in a lot of the artwork, was kind of, last time we ended up with what was fundamentally a fake lead singer. And this time we're quite proud to say that we've got a real one. And so that's why we're quite happy to have.
Yeah.
Hey?
Thanks, Dave. I love you too.
Good kid.
Good coming on.
I'm everyone. I feel used. I'm everyone. I need you.
How do you feel about Becoming X now, listening back to it?
It's fine, It's. I think there's a period last year when I find it difficult to listen to, but it's okay. It's a good record. I don't denounce anything. It's just that time, and it's part of our history. We've just moved on, and it's the natural progression.
Listening to the album, and it's very good, by the way.
Thank you.
I say that to everyone, but it is actually very good. No, I haven't actually heard it, but it's very good. No, I was listening to it last night and this morning. It's brilliant. It sounds to me like obviously there's a move away from the samples. It's a lot more organic sounding. It's a lot more intimate. It's a lot more emotional depth, lyrical depth, things like that. very naturally? Did that happen naturally, or did you sit
Yeah, I
down?
think it describes the mood that we were about at that time when we came back off tour. Just a general sort of huge come down.
It's kind of
hangover.
where the whole Kelly thing came from, was wanting to make this album. We knew what kind of album we wanted to make, and we knew it wasn't going to work with the way things were set up as they were. So that's kind of where the whole change came from, because this album was the most important thing we could do.
Yeah.
And that's always been the thing that's kept us vaguely sane, and all the other little influences from other people and from the industry and stuff has been the stuff that's tried to knock us off our path. But
Yeah,
we've made the album and we're very
it's
happy
been a
about
bit of a
it now.
fight, really.
You talk about it not being, you know, so dark live and so dark just generally, and I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but listening to the album, and someone was talking about their deep love for Scott Walker, which is, you know, a good news.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I think Curl sounds very much like some very early New Order, actually.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, someone else said that.
And there's been talk of My Bloody Valentine and stuff like that. So I sort of have, you know, visions of you guys with the candles and the lines drawn. The candles was like, the set the tape. You know what I mean?
For real.
Exactly. You know, was it kind of a good vibe in the studio? Were you guys feeling?
I mean,
Heavy?
it started off pretty heavy and intense because we were sort of hungover from live and general things, and brains weren't functioning too well, which is probably a good thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Making a record.
Sleep deprivation is
Yeah.
also a good thing.
That's all.
Making a record.
We start having fun with the idea of dark, and I think people have to realise that there's a lot of fun in what we do as well. So.
Yeah. Cliche number 1 in the Sneaker Pimps
Hey,
interview. Yeah, it's a lot
I
of fun in what we do. Take
Main
note.
number one.
Dress up in little red jackets and jump around. It's fun.
Got that cheap trick thing going on there. You can take it to the full extreme now.
Do you love yourself?